Red Sox are not done. What else do you have?
I asked someone with the Red Sox earlier today after the Adley Rutschman deal, you guys done? And the response was, no chance. And they have been busy ever since then, getting Eli White, a speedster, can play infield, can play outfield. But the bigger deal, Marcelo Meyer, who was once a top 5 prospect in all of baseball and was believed to be the shortstop of the future for the Boston Red Sox, is going to the San Francisco Giants. This is pending medicals. They will be getting Eric Miller, a big, hard-throwing lefty back. Miller had a lot of action on him. Among all the players that the Giants have traded, he might have been the most coveted. Multiple years of control left, lots of strikeouts, adds to a Boston bullpen that has been absolutely dynamic on this great run of theirs, Kevin. And the Red Sox, who started the day the hottest team in baseball, have gotten much better on trade deadline day.
Eduardo, Eric Miller, Adley Rutschman added. They move Connolly earlier last week or a week and a half ago. Anthony Ianson, Kyson Witherspoon, Marcelo Meyer. That's a lot of the big names in the farm system there.
I'm just blown away because you got Tampa Bay shortening up the game in the bullpen. The Red Sox, who have had Chapman in the 9th, Whitlock in the 8th, they've been locked down. Now they get to shorten the game as well. Brian Bayo's been doing really well in the bullpen as well there. So they're giving more strength to being able to be more forgiving later on in games and allowing management to at least make moves to strengthen their team. I think this is a brilliant move. It doesn't affect the chemistry that's going on right now in that active roster, and I think that's one thing that they wanted to do. This actually strengthens this team even more.
100%, Eduardo. And Eric Miller, the guy they got from Giants. Remember Andrew Bailey, their pitching coach, where did he come from? The Giants. So he's going to have a lot of awareness of him. I'm shocked at sort of the fall of Marcelo Meyer within the Red Sox organization. Like, beginning of 2025, that's all we heard about. Like
the big three.
The big three, and he is gone.
Right, and Christian Campbell's in the minor leagues, and Roman Anthony's hurt. So
I'm
maybe the lesson is that when Red Sox fans are going, oh, we gave up way too much for Adley Rutschman. Well, 2 years ago, they had these 3 guys who can't miss, and 2 of them haven't worked out yet, and 1 guy is injured.
3 years ago, it was a different general manager, team president. 3 years ago, it was a different manager. 3 years ago was 3 years ago. It's what have you done for me lately, and how are we going to be effective? And they've looked at the team and they said, okay, the best ability, come on now,
is availability.
Thank you so much. And we've been around this thing together, huh? We really have. So and a little shout out to Rick Sutcliffe out there that used to say it all the time. But it's true. And if you're not on the field and you're not going to produce, then we need to get better somewhere else. You can stockpile talent for how long? Now, allow him to go out west. That's where he's from. Maybe he'll produce there. But it's just like selling an old car. Forget about that car from now on. Focus on what you have now. Let's not forget they got Curtis Mead as well.
I absolutely love this for the Cubs. And I agree with Jeff. They've had a great deadline because they got 2 horses in a rotation after all the injuries they suffered this year. And Clay Holmes and Gossman, you said this before, they fit Wrigley Field great. They fit their defense great. They're 2 experienced pitchers. Here's the thing about Clay Holmes. You know, that broken fibula and everyone wondered how he was doing. As he's come back through the minor league rehabilitation, he's looked great. And Kevin Gossman, we saw in the World Series last year, he is going to take the ball, Hall of Famer.
And I have done 2 of his games. I've done dozens of his games over the years. But when that split is right, nobody can hit him. And again, with the defense that the Cubs have, it's really amazing. They are where they are, using 12 starting pitchers already. And now they've just added 2 who are going to make them a better team down the stretch.
What did Boston give up here to get Adley Rutschman?
And I can't tell you what I said when I heard about this trade. We have to get another 7, maybe 14 seconds of delay. This is a wild overpay on the face of it. Now, you can do all the caveats of, well, these teams know these players better than anybody else. Who knows how this is going to work out? Maybe they know some stuff we don't know. Maybe they're being aggressive. But this seems like Baltimore had a high price on Rutschman. The Red Sox really needed to add a power hitter after losing Mead. They traded, if we're talking rough rankings on a top 100 list, Anthony Ianson, roughly 50th on the list. Azakar, roughly 100th on the list, and then Witherspoon, roughly 150th, just off the list with a chance. He was preseason on the top 100. They got 3 real guys plus a big league catcher. For a guy in Rutschman, whose value was down last year, has come back this year. This seems like Boston really pushed some chips in to the point where some people in the industry are wondering how they ended up with this being the package.
Jeff, on a day that the Padres added Robbie Ray to bolster that starting rotation, and moments ago, another ace.
Casey Mize coming from the Detroit Tigers in a buzzer beater. There were questions, Kevin, about whether Casey Mize was going to be dealt at all. His velocity in his last start was down. scouts were worried maybe there's something with his health. The Padres didn't care. They're looking to bolster a rotation to supplement a lineup that's actually been exceptionally good since the All-Star break. They are hitting. They now have the pitching to complement it, and they're hoping to make a run in the National League, Kevin.
They had Robbie Ray, the Padres do, from San Francisco earlier. We figured A.J. Preller would leave his fingerprints on this trade deadline, and just before the buzzer, he does by adding Casey Mize here. Look, obviously the Dodgers, as I mentioned off the top, Tim, clearly the winner here by adding Tarek Skubal, two-time defending Cy Young Award winner here. Let's focus on the deadline today, 30-some-odd trades. Who were the big winners today, in your opinion?
Well, I think one of the big winners was the Red Sox. They went and got Adley Rutschman. Let's not forget, they were 32-46. They have since gone 28-5. They got everyone in New England buzzing about this team, and they showed again today, we are going for this. Plus, they absolutely had to add another bat to this lineup, especially behind the plate. They got 4 home runs from their catchers. They had a 28-year-old switch hitter who was number 1 overall pick, and he made the All-Star team this year. They gave up a ton to get him. I think it was worth it given the situation.
How about the Guardians? What they have been able to do. Look, they have a starting rotation that has not missed a start yet. Only 5 guys have been able to pitch the entire season for them. And then they go add Foster Griffin, who has had a fantastic season with the Nationals. He comes in just to add length to this rotation. Now you have Parker Messick, Gavin Williams, Cantillo, Ciccone as well, and Tanner Bybee. But then you also go out and address the outfield situation as well. And when you go out and you're able to get Joe Adell to fit in beautifully in the outfield, now you're talking. You needed a right-handed guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, that can hit both righties and lefties. Joe Adell fits the mold for them in right field. Now you have a solid defense, a young solid defense to go at it. So the Guardians, to me, did a nice job of being able to represent in the American League Central.
Nipping on the heels of the Chicago White Sox, who were active as well. Buster, if the path to the National League Championship figured to run through Los Angeles, and it likely still may with the Dodgers there, who else in the National League among their competitors added to their team today?
Besides the Padres, Chicago Cubs. I think adding 2 guys to their rotation. Look, a couple weeks ago we were talking to Craig Counsell, Cubs manager, and he said it's no mystery. We need pitching, pitching, and pitching. They've had so many injuries, so to add Kevin Gausman. And now Clay Holmes today, a guy who his sinker ball is going to be a great match for that infield, the home field advantage that the Cubs have in Wrigley Field. I think there's 2 great adds for Chicago.
Winners for me, how about the Tampa Bay Rays? Freddie Peralta, Tyler Wells, and Liam Hicks as well, a great hitting catcher.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're getting deeper. Look, in the American League, you can reasonably dream about reaching the World Series if you added at this deadline.
I think we're in agreement that the National League is going to run through the Los Angeles Dodgers. Buster, how about the power rankings in the American League as you see it?
Yeah, why don't you go first, Jeff?
I am the maestro of the touchscreen. And
yeah.
Look, at the back end, it's tough. I'm going to give this to the Cleveland Guardians, however, just out of respect of the way that they maneuver today. You don't see that from the Guardians much as deadline. 3 guys going and getting them. Chicago White Sox, they might be the most fun team to watch in the American League. Dynamic offense, enough pitching. I'm struggling with the number 3 here. I know the Boston Red Sox have been incredible lately, and they're playing so much better right now than the New York Yankees, but the reality is I expect Aaron Judge to be back at some point this season. If not, I think the Yankees did well getting Luis Garcia at the trade deadline. And the number 1 team is the best team in the American League. The team that went out and got Freddie Peralta and Liam Hicks, the Tampa Bay Rays, Buster. By all means, scramble this up as you will.
And you know what? It's the American League. It's a land of opportunity, and we're very different in our thoughts. I'm going to go Guardians all the way over here because we saw the Guardians reach the American League Championship Series in 2024.
Wow.
I love them in that spot. Red Sox, I'm going to honor the streak, the momentum, the excitement. I agree with you about the Yankees at number 3. I think the Rays are at number 4. And I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners, who, I mean, they are the sleeping giant of baseball. We've been waiting all year for them to start playing better. At some point, you figure Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor, right? They're going to take off. Kate Anderson will be called up from the minor leagues.
Did you put the Guardians at 1?
I did put the Guardians at 1.
Did you do that intentionally?
I did that
you don't know how to use the touchscreen.
The team to beat in the American League is
the
Cleveland.
team to beat in the American League. I think between the pitching, Jose Ramirez getting more comfortable coming back from hamate surgery. You know, Chase DeLauder has been outstanding this year. I love the depth in that pitching staff.
I love the gumption of this. I almost didn't put them at 5. I almost had the Mariners there.
You were just being polite to the Guardians by putting them here, right?
I am from Cleveland. Like, I got to give a little love sometimes.
Cam Schlittler, Max Fried, Garrett Cole, Ryan Weathers. A lot of pitching there for the Yankees.
They're going to be a lot better by the end of the year. But the whole key is, can Aaron Judge come back and play a role?
And when Giancarlo Stanton comes back, all bets are off. There may not be a hole on that team. They were undeniably the biggest winner here at the deadline when they acquired Tarek Skubal on Saturday night for a package that a lot of people feel was not necessarily worthy of what Tarek Skubal could have commanded in return here. Eduardo, when you add a pitcher like that to what they have there already, it's a remarkable haul.
It's a remarkable haul. I think the biggest challenge that the Dodgers are going to face is the health. How healthy are they going to be come October? Is it the plan of Glasnow, of Skubal, of Ohtani, of Yamamoto, and also Blake Snell? Is that going to come to fruition? Only time will tell, and the health is going to play a major factor. The strength of the Dodgers, as much as people want to say their offense, it's their pitching. They suppress runs, and they do it brilliantly.
It is remarkable when the toughest question to answer is which of your two-time Cy Young winners or World Series MVP or four-time MVP starts game one of a series here.